No audio. Audio. Say things.
I missed Devin.
Audio.
Perfect. Audio's good
For
to go.
everybody that's in chat, Meg at the beginning of this goes, I missed you guys. And I was like, you've been with Alex in Vegas for like a week.
And then she followed up with I missed Devin, which is fair. I've missed Devin too. Devin, why were you not in Vegas?
Amber had a work trip, and I don't know if we have only ever, actually recently, spent any time where both of us have been gone on a trip at the same time, either jointly or separately, to where family had to watch our kids solo. So we just did that recently on a work trip for her to go to New Orleans. But we did it recently, and I have so much travel this year that I couldn't do that to our family.
I was
who
going
already helped
through
so much.
the photos to have a photo for the live stream, and I've come to the conclusion that we need to take more photos together because we are in the same place a lot, and we don't take photos of the three of us a lot.
We don't. Are you telling me that we need to do what you guys do for Camp Co-op in Gloomhaven and just sit in front of your studio camera and take like 35 screenshots?
Basically, yeah, exactly like that. But anyways, hello everyone, welcome to the Weekly Live. This is the Weekly Live where we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things, including a game that we select that we want to talk about because we're interested in some reason. We're going to have a quiz show. Go ahead. What's up?
I have to change my framing. She missed me so much. I'm not going to be able to sit like this today.
Okay.
Man.
What are you doing?
Amber tried to do the same thing.
What are
I was
we
like,
doing?
get out of the room.
Okay.
She wants Mifa wants her to hold her.
Okay. We're also going to go ahead and have, I had words there, have all gone. We're going to have a quiz show. It's going to be a rhyming quiz show. Don't judge my rhymes. I threw this together in the last 45 minutes. I did not have a lot of time. There's only 15 questions because I did not have a lot of time and the rhymes are only okay. And then lastly, we'll be going with our Patreon sponsored segment where the Patreon sponsored segment of this week is a conversation around game tables. What are the best things to look for to have? What features do you like from them? I believe Meg and myself have game tables. Devin is working on it, but Devin's also played at game tables and is in the perfect shopping mode where he cares the most and wants to know what features he wants in a game table.
Don't say I'm in a shopping mode. That's dangerous.
Amber, if you're watching the stream, I'm lying. This never ever happened. Anyways, but that said, that's going to be the Weekly Live general overview. And to that end, let's go ahead and start this off. And I think I'll start this. Well, actually, let's take a breather back. Whoa, dial it back. So, we just came back from Dice Tower West. Devin just came back from Tennessee Game Days. Devin, what was the highlight of the Tennessee Game Days for you?
Oh, the highlight of Tennessee Game Days was a combination of several things. Because I was there for like a full week. I was there for the Ivy Studio filming, and then I had a break in between, and then Tennessee Game Days. So I would say highlight number one was getting to spend more time with Ivy. I think, you went down there for Mythic Mischief, but there were also a lot of content creators there. So I don't know if you've had the opportunity that the three of us got to have this time around, where we were the only content creators there, and we kind of got personalized time with Austin, Zach, and Sam, who are delightful, and I really enjoy all three of them. And that was just typically, like, for content creators, when we're going to a convention or something, we both have to meet publishers, but we also have to be very mindful of their time because they're typically at a sales event. And so they have very concentrated small windows for meeting us, and you really don't want to go outside of that time unless they offer it, because it's an exhausting time period. So to kind of have selfishly that alone time with IV, to both film content for their games and also just to hang out with them, was like truly it was a treat for me. I had a delightful time getting to know Zach and Sam a little bit more, since Austin is so frequently our contact. It was really good to spend time with them. The next highlight for Tennessee Game Days was getting to spend time with the Ivy Discord. The Discord community for Ivy Games is pretty much one of the only publisher Discords I actually engage with a lot. Maybe them and just one or two others. They're a super awesome group, and a ton of the moderators were physically at Tennessee Game Days. They traveled down for it. And so I got to spend a lot of time with them, and that was delightful. They're all really, really super people. And then the rest of it was just getting to connect with people on not a convention schedule. I got to spend, even though we didn't get even close to finishing the game, I spent like 2 or 3 hours teaching Byron from Van Ryder Games and his son Ryan. I got to teach them Forbidden Stars. and I think Joe and Bob were the other two that were there. So I was teaching them Forbidden Stars. It was a lot of fun. And then I horribly, horribly ran Blood on the Clock Tower like 3 sessions back to back because the other person who was typically the storyteller wasn't available. And so I was like, I've watched No Rolls Barred. I can do it. And so then I did that for like 3 hours straight, and that was a lot of fun as well. Just to kind of see the interactions from a different side. Yeah, probably Discord community, getting to teach people games, and then Ivy are probably like my top 3 moments from that week.
And Meg, what's your
What about you
highlights
guys
at
at Dice Tower West? Oh, yeah. Fine, moderator Alex.
Moderator Alex. Can I get a badge or a cup? I just want a cup that says accountant/moderator Alex.
Dude, Amber at Asheville got me a new thing for tea. It's called like
Ooh.
steepware, and it's like the bottom of it, you can steep your tea in glass so it doesn't get a bunch of carcinogens. You have this really nice cork grip so that it doesn't get hot on you. And then when you're done steeping it, you can flip it upside down and take out the steeping stuff.
That is cool.
Sorry. Alex said cup, and it got me excited.
So go ahead, Meg. What were your highlights from Dice Tower West?
Just a humble brag first. If anyone hears the sounds coming in, I got 27.5 inches of snow through the course of yesterday. So it's all now falling from the tree that's right outside my window, and it's all going like thud, 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 thud. It's scaring me. So I went to Dice Tower West. It was a lot of fun. I am thoroughly exhausted now. I had a lot of wins in games that were really, really fun and different. Like we played Dead Last with John D. Clare and Roy from the Dice Tower and other people I'm not naming that I feel bad about not naming. But it was a whole bunch of us.
Do you want
And
me to
that
name
win
them all?
was very... Yeah, you can.
John D. Clare, his wife, was Vlad in that game? I can't remember if Vlad was in the game. Vlad was not in the game. It was
No.
Roy, his fiance, myself, yourself, Chris George, and Andrew Santaro.
Andrew Santaro, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
it was so fun to hang out with.
It sounds cool.
But that one was an amazing win. That the first time when it came down to it, it was down to Alex and I, and Alex said he would definitely share, and I was like, great, I'll steal. And then at the end, it was like a shootout, and I just ended up winning without having to go to like sudden death. I had a lot of fun playing Splendor. Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing games. But my highlight, oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry, I'm straight up exhausted from coming back from Dice Tower West. My highlight, which I think I'm allowed to say right now, Alex, about Potions of Azurland.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's private.
It's public?
Yeah.
So Potions of Azurland is a game being made by our friends. One of them is Gray, who is
Bryce is
the
in
chief
chat.
from...
We can ask.
Bryce confirmed. You can say it.
Can I say it?
He said yes.
So the game is being made by Gray, who won 2 rings at WSBG, also by our friend Bryce, who is in chat right now, and by Tyler. And their art is being done by Andrew Bosley. And it's actually like very fitting that Mifa wants to be up in my lap right now, because for about an hour, so we went to dinner. We had an amazing sushi dinner, all of us, a whole bunch of us. We also had Tim and Bands there for dinner. But during dinner, yes. During dinner, we joked that I should be a card in the game, and I thought we were just joking. Andrew was like, oh yeah, I'll totally draw you tomorrow, and I thought it was a joke. And then I go by the booth for about an hour, and he sketched not only me, but in the game a lot of people have animals, and they let me have Mifa in like a little basket on my back. So Mifa is also in the game, and it's just like a beautiful, beautiful... I'm now drawn by Andrew Bosley. It's crazy. So he did only sketch it.
Really,
we don't
really
have the full picture yet. The full picture, he's still shading and doing all of that. But it already looks like amazing.
Yeah, for me, my highlights were a few-fold. One of them I actually wasn't planning on saying, but you reminded me of that game of Dead Last, because Devin, you'll appreciate this knowing me. In Dead Last, the way it works is everyone kind of gangs up to kind of just kill someone, and then eventually you have a few enough people left standing, they share the loot. So as a person, you have a card where I could say, I'm killing the black player, I'm killing the green player. So everyone has a card for every player in the game. But then if you ever play Ambush, then anyone who tried to kill you, they die and you're still standing. Okay?
How many people did you kill in one go?
So I started off the very first round, I was like, okay guys, I got this, I don't really know how it goes, but let's go ahead and kill Roy. Now, the problem is, public table talk is great, except if everyone believes you, Roy will just play ambush. So I was like, everyone's going to kill Roy, okay, Meg, you're going to kill Roy, you're going to kill Roy, like, we'll all agree to kill Roy. And then I played ambush, while 4 people at the table tried to kill me, and they all died in the first turn.
That sounds like my kind of game. Oh,
It was so satisfying. I was like, of course they're gonna announce they're gonna kill Roy. Everyone's gonna try to kill me, and of course Meg and Chris George and Andrew Santaro. And I don't remember the fourth one, but like it was like boom, killed 4 people. I then proceeded to win that round. It was me and Meg left standing, and that's where you have an opportunity to share. It's Prisoner's Dilemma. You can share where you both get half. You can steal where if you both steal, you both get nothing. Or if one person steals, one person shares, then you get everything. So I of course agreed to share with Meg. I didn't get any loot.
All Alex said was, "I'm gonna share," and I was like, "Great." I never said what I was gonna do. Never asked. I guess I'll just steal them.
I'll remember this forever. But anyways, also Tones My Bones in chat. Alex and Meg was the cow elephant reel at the show. I have theories, but I'm not gonna say them out loud in chat. You can send me a note. Send me an email if you want to talk. But I have theories. Anyways, past.
We also went to an escape room with Brian Greer. We went to Penn and Teller, and homies. I'm so excited about Dice Tower West was amazing. The games were amazing, but we got to leave and go watch BattleBots live.
You got to watch BattleBots?
Time of my life.
Alex is like, I would have rather been playing Robo Rally.
Yes. It was fun. It was fun, but it's not a board game fun. Speaking of board games, my other highlight was definitely playing, I love playing DEI with John D. Claire, John Zinzer, and Successful Geek from our Discord. And that was a lot of fun because I proceeded to teach John D. Claire the game. I've been winning every single game I've played of it, and he thoroughly stomped me into the ground on his first game. And he's like, yeah, it's a good game. I really like it. It's a good game. I'm like, I hate you. I hate you so much. But yeah.
Are you telling me that a designer was able to quickly dismantle you in a game?
He so thoroughly dismantled me. It was incredibly impressive to watch. I really appreciate. It's fun to watch someone who's good at what they do, and he just picked up in a second, and then it was like me and him vying for control, and the other two kind of behind a bit, and like he destroyed me at the end. But yeah. Delightful. But anyways, that's Dice Tower West. Which means now that we spent a decent amount of time on other stuff, we can go ahead and talk about the actual segments of the week. Starting off with a game of the week, which for me is going to be a game I played at Dice Tower West, which is going to be Splendor Duel. Splendor Duel is a game I had a chance to play at Dice Tower West, because I just said that. This is a 2-player version of Splendor that I had a chance to play for the first time. It basically gives
Dice Tower West.
At Dice Tower West, exactly, Evan. You got this. So it basically has the same core concept of Splendor in the sense that you are gathering sets of cards that add to your tableau as you eventually are trying to either achieve 20 points. You can see it on the card on the left there. You're either trying to achieve 20 points or 10 crowns. Some cards have crowns, some don't. Or alternatively, 10 points on cards all of the same color. And so I already like that multiple possible victory point condition aspect. Past that, on the turn, the way you gather gems is you gather any 3 gems from that little, you can see that set of 5x5 set of gems on the table. So you can gather any 3 gems in a row, a column, or diagonal, and you can take any 3 gems from that row, or at any point you can optionally refill that whole segment from the bag in order to re-get gems on the board. But then when that happens, you your opponent gets one of those little scrolls which they can trade in to take a gem. So there's a constant puzzle in play that certain things you do will give you an opponent a scroll, and you don't want to give them too many scrolls because that allows them to take a gem for free, but then you're ultimately trying to trade them in for cards. I like the system, especially since Chris George and Meg have made it so that I thoroughly no longer enjoy Splendor anymore. Because I don't know if you guys know this in chat. What? Go ahead.
We played since then, and it doesn't always work like that. You're mad because it worked really well one particular time.
And then Gray, who is the WSBG winner of Splendor, when you were telling him about your win, effectively he's like, oh yeah, 5 cards is great. 4 cards, Meg, that's good. 4 cards is good. Meaning, it seems that the way to win Splendor is to gather 4 to 6 cards and win the game. It's not the tableau building game that I thought it was. It is a game of just take tokens and trade them in for cards, which to me, I don't mind.
I think that what you're saying is incorrect.
Go ahead.
It is a tableau building game. There is a strategy to manipulate the mechanics of it that defeats the purpose of what the game was designed to be for.
Correct, which
but
to me...
It needs to also work well. Like, last time we played, I still won, but I had to engine build. It's just that only sometimes it works out that you can do it certain ways.
Potentially, although it depends. I would be curious to see how often... Like, you only just learned that strategy, so perhaps it takes more time before you can really dive into it. I don't know. But either way. But all I know is I'm still playing Splendor, but I'm liking it less now that the part that I enjoy, which is building a tableau, is not the actual the efficient way to win. So I'm less enthusiastic about it. But anyways, I enjoy Splendor Duel. It's not a game I feel the need to hunt down and play forever, but I do enjoy the mechanics enough that I'd happily play it again. And that's basically Splendor Duel. That's my game of the week. Devin,
Nice.
do you want to dive into yours?
Sure. Sorry, I was just answering Grey Rat in chat, who was asking for exclusively two-player gateway games. I guess I gave some that aren't exclusively, but most of those are exclusively. Mine is The Crew. So, I have kind of like a weekly game night that I play with some of the camp co-op buddies. And typically, if we're all available, the core 4 of us that started, we do Gloomhaven. But if we're not all available that are part of the Gloomhaven party, then we typically just play on BG8. And so just this last week, I taught George The Crew. And it's been a couple months since I played it the last time. And I just love The Crew. I really enjoy trick-taking games. I think this is one of the best ones to teach people about how a mechanic... I mean, we view it as a mechanic in the board game space. That would be the entirety of a game if people are thinking about it in like cards and stuff like that. So I mean, it's really the entirety of spades or hearts or something like that is the sole mechanic of trick taking. And so it's fun to be able to show people. I don't necessarily think there are as many correlations between a game that is played outside of our space and a game that is in our space than something like this where it is trick taking, but it's like, oh wait, it's collaborative though. And the goal is not to get points. The goal is to complete these tasks. And it kind of reshifts the paradigm of what people think when they associate like spades or hearts with that. And they can kind of see how the heart of what you have in that game can be applied in a different way and create a whole new experience. And so The Crew is just so fun to me. There were a couple times where just in the after the first 1 or 2 rounds, George had it down. But like, we talked about, we were saying something, and he was like, it would hard to imagine someone being like bad at this or having difficulty with this. And I was telling him about a friend of ours who we play with, and it's kind of a running joke that she'll, like, the first card of the round or the first 1 or 2, she'll play a card that absolutely makes it impossible to win because it's based off of somebody else's tasks. And so like he did that on his like 3rd play, and we were like, okay, starting over. And it's just such a fun game. I love it. And I've really rarely ever made it past like mission 18. But so there's still so much that I haven't even explored, but I always enjoy it.
And you're still referring to the base game, The Crew, not the quest.
I have Deep Sea, but I haven't played it yet. And I know that people who have played it and played Deep Sea are like, Deep Sea does enough that that's kind of my new preference. But
Deep Sea just does the difference between The Crew and The Crew Deep Sea is just one thing. The Crew, you're trying to win the cards. So you have your sets of cards. You have to win the pink 9. You have to win the green 8. In Deep Sea, the only thing that changes is the goals change. So instead of having to win a specific number, there are things like there are more nuanced goals. So you have to win 3 tricks with a 7 or higher. You have to win a trick with a card lower than 4. So you have goals that are more than about taking a specific card. They still have some cards that are specific cards, but they have like, you have to win 3 green tricks, or you have to win 2 7s. So the goals are just more dynamic as opposed to strictly taking a number. Past that, it's the same exact game.
Huh.
Yeah.
How many were you playing at, Devin?
It was me, George, and Srebny. So I think just 3 of us when we were playing at that point.
Oh, it's on BGA.
Yeah, it's on
Nice.
BGA, yeah.
Totally missed that. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's a great game. I actually had a chance to play Deep Sea at Dice Tower West as well. I really enjoyed it. That has that moment where you're like 2 people at the table are watching the 3rd person play a card and being like, and there's the game. Yeah. Yeah, like 2 of us see what's going on here. The other one does not necessarily do that. But it's a learning game. To be very fair to them, it's their first time playing it, and they literally just dove straight into it with no rules whatsoever. And so no harm, no foul on what they were doing. But it's just that dynamic is definitely at play.
And the Mick Meeples was asking what some of my favorite ones were, and it got me thinking of one that came and went during my 1-year window of not backing, which it's actually. probably one of the ones that excited me the most when I played it, and it was one of the ones I was upset I couldn't back, and it's Arcs from Leader Games. Did you try it at all, either of you?
I did not.
No,
It's
I had
trick
my eye on
taking.
it.
It's trick taking and like 4x in space.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
I am both
cool.
intrigued and intimidated, which is the exact same feeling I had about Oath, and I didn't feel the need to get Oath later.
Yeah, Oath just never appealed to me. But like Arcs is definitely, oh man, it's so cool.
It seems
It's
intriguing.
so cool.
Seems intriguing.
But also,
Anyways,
shout out to Cat in the Box. I love that game.
Yeah, no,
Love
that
it.
was, I mean, you guys are the ones I think that taught that to me when you came and visited.
It's so fun.
yeah. But with that, moving into the next one, which is, I believe, yourself, Meg.
Huzzah! My game of the week is Rolling Heights. So I got to play this for the first time with the one, the only, John DeClaire. We also played with his wife,
Are you guys
Sheila.
just best friends now? Did I get replaced by John
John
DeClaire?
DeClaire is pretty awesome,
pretty
actually.
cool.
He's pretty cool. I like him a lot.
So Devin, actually, you and John DeClaire have something in common where his daughter is also obsessed with me.
That seemed like it was leading towards something cool that I could share with him, and it's more just Meg-centric. Good to know.
She like lit up when she saw my hair. She was like, ah! But she's tiny. She's like 8 months, I think. But yeah, we got to play this, and also with Vlad. Alex actually didn't play. Alex advised, and was walking around being social. But I played with Vlad, John, and Sheila. And it was a really, really fun time. I loved rolling the meeples. I quite impressed John with my meeple rolling skills. And it's just a very cute, charming game where you are rolling your meeples. Depending on what meeples you have and what you roll, you're either getting resources or abilities, and then you're using that to draft different city tiles, build out your city, and score different objective points and build up your buildings. And it just was so cute. It looks charming, but it ended up getting very thinky, especially toward the end. There's a lot of like end game scoring and things like that. And there's definitely different strategies of either building a lot of low cost tiles or a lot of higher cost ones. Vlad absolutely crushed it with multiple skyscrapers. And then I didn't know until we finished the game. But once you finish the game, because you have an entire city that's built, there's like a mini game on top of that. There's like a little like King Kong, Donkey Kong-esque looking figure, and you get to drop him from up high, and you're trying to destroy the city, and then you're using, is it meeples, Alex? Or no, it's resources. You're dropping resources onto him, trying to attack him, so whoever wins is using the gorilla person, trying to destroy the city. Everyone else is using resources, trying to throw it at him, stopping him, and killing him before he kills the city. I don't know, but either way, we got to throw things at each other.
Is it like a mandatory?
No, so it's a completely
It's like a cleanup thing.
I've played this game in the past for the Kickstarter, and I love Rolling Heights. I never knew about this mini game. It is completely separate. It's just so like fun. You finish the game is over, the win is declared, and there's a separate little game where the winner of the game becomes Godzilla, and the other players are trying to stop him. It's a separate
is it Godzilla or King Kong?
King Kong, that's the one.
It's definitely a
and you're dropping bombs on King Kong to kill.
Basically, but the problem is your bombs might also destroy the city, so it's just a balance. It's a tiny little it is surprisingly appealing in terms of the minigame. I was surprised how much fun it was. I thought it was like a little stupid cleanup thing. It's like actually like, oh no, we gotta stop King Kong.
Yeah.
Keep the buildings alive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really great. I loved it.
That's funny.
That's pretty awesome. And with that, peoples, it is time for a game show. Okay, we're going to be going to a game show now, and the game show rules are pretty simple. And by pretty simple, I mean that they are intensely complicated because that's the way these game shows work. This is the homepage of BGG you see in front of you because I don't want to show anything to anyone else. But the game show is effectively going to be the following. It's going to be a rhyming game show where I deliver a rhyme to the two of you.
Is that a shiv?
That may be a shiv, yes.
Oh yeah, I just knew that.
Yeah.
So.
So, basically, I'll be delivering a rhyme to the two of you. There's going to be 15 of these rhymes. The standard rules apply. You get 3 points for getting the rhyme correctly. You get 2 points you get 2 points for getting the rhyme correctly. You get 3 points if you are the second person. In other words, going first is better, but you also potentially, if you're wrong, you lost your chance, and the person can get 3 points. At any point in the rhyme, you can buzz in and stop me, but then when you're done with your guess, the rhyme will stop if you buzz in early. I don't care what the rules, you can buzz in at any point, the rhyme will stop, and then at that point, the other person gets to hear the rhyme completed before they jump in. So if you go early, do so at your own risk. These rhymes
I
are
don't
going
know
to.
if I can understand.
I will be delivering a
what is
two-sentence
the
rhyme to you.
rhyme?
I'll be delivering
Okay,
a
and what's the
two-sentence rhyme
purpose of the rhyme?
to give you enough context to guess the game the rhyme is referring to.
Oh, okay. So it's a rhyming description of a
A
game.
rhyming description of a game that's vague and flowery and is not the best because I had 45 minutes to come up with 15 mini rhymes for a game. Okay?
Why is this what you did?
Because
By
I like
the
to be
way,
different, Meg.
Alex, for next week, I have a request.
Oh, please hit me.
For next week, can we invite Doolin from Table Knots and have him host his board game show?
I'd love to. The
So-
caveat is next week it has to be
Yeah.
if we're doing it, it has to be early
Or there's no
Okay.
Alex.
or there's no Alex.
Okay. Well,
Both are possible.
we can try and schedule around it. But do you know the show that I'm talking
Nope.
about? So he hosts a show on his channel where he gives a long description of two games, and the games bleed into each other like as words. So he's going to give a description, and it's a game, and a description of a game, and it might be code names. And so like he's going to give a description about Calico that bleeds into a description about code names, and you have to guess what the two games are based off of the fact that their names. So like one of them was like ever Del Grande, like about Everdell and El Grande. So it's like it's really
It's cute. It's
cool.
cute. I'll watch
cute.
it. I'll
It's
watch it.
cute.
I'll do my back end research. But either way, are you guys clear on the rules for this game?
You made up weird poems.
That's
and we're gonna
correct.
guess board games.
You are exactly right, Devin. You got this. There's going to be 15 of these. Again, the first person to buzz in is the one who gets the chance to answer it. I will be rhyming at a normal speed instead of my usual fast speed, so you can hear every word pronounced. But with that
I
said,
feel like this is a rapper that's like, I'm going to slow down.
number 1. Stock photos, a tableau, and a whole lot more. This game quickly rose to number 4.
Buzz?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
Is it Arc Nova?
It is indeed Arc Nova. Dun dun dun.
Stock photos. Oh, I was thinking of parks, like the photos. I thought they were like.
Stock photos, a tableau, and a whole lot more. This game quickly rose to number 4.
Amber, can you shut the door?
You ready for number 2, Devin? We got 2 points on the board for Meg. Number 2.
Totally ready. Thank you, baby.
I'll wait till you're ready because you do
I'm
not seem
still
ready.
so bewildered
Okay.
by this.
I'm going to wait until Devin's done chewing so he actually has a shot
This
here.
is
Meg's like,
seesaw
go,
experiment.
go, Alex, go.
No, I'm like, what is...
So it's a rhyme. Did it work? Did you get it?
I thought that was great.
2
Yeah.
points
I
on the
got it
board.
the very first time.
Yeah. Moving on. Epic Gaming Night. Roy. Is that Roy? That's Roy. Roy, what are you doing here? How's it going? Roy, by the way, just so you know, Devin has spent the whole week crying about the fact that he couldn't play last night with us, just so that good. Anyway, number 2. If you're ready. With small little folk, a wolf and a lute, who would have thought that violence can be so cute? With small little folk, a wolf and a lute, who would have thought that violence can be so cute? I'm surprised neither of you are getting this one.
Buzz,
Go ahead.
I'm worried that you said wolf and it's actually a raccoon, but I'm going to say root.
It is incorrect, and it's definitely a wolf.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave.
Interesting.
With small little folk, a wolf and a lute, who would have thought that violence can be so cute? I totally thought this was just straight up... I mean, Chad hasn't gotten it either, so maybe this is on me. I don't know.
I'm trying to determine if it's loot, U-T-E, or loot, L-O-O-T.
I think it's loot.
I
Because he
don't
said
know.
a loot. You don't say a loot when it's
Oh,
loot.
yeah, you're right.
Um,
I don't know if I know this game.
what is there with a wolf and a loot?
Nothing?
No. Give me a second. Come
I know,
on.
I know. You got a second. You got time here because you didn't buzz in.
Are all answers acceptable? Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh, that's a good question. No, I'm going to go with the fact that's the answer I wanted. Just because
Okay.
mean.
Okay. Grim Forest?
The answer is Too Many Bones. Undertow literally has
Okay.
2 primary characters, a wolf and a lute.
Okay.
Undertow.
The 2,
I don't
and I would
think of them
accept
as
any.
small.
Well, what?
I don't think of them as small.
You don't have to think of them as small, but they are small.
Earlocks are small.
They are definitely small. They are small little
They just-
folk.
No.
I'm
Alright,
okay with this.
alright.
I'm okay with this.
I think that was fine.
Okay, aren't they Meg-sized? Meg-sized is small.
What I'm saying, like, that's not small. I think that they're normal.
Meg,
First of all-
you are
No.
are small.
And even then, Meg, you had to bend down to be Gearlock size, and you start off as small. Moving on to the next one.
yeah.
Oh, that's the answer. It's Too Many Bones. Here we go. Too Many Bones on the toe. On the screen. Dun, dun, dun. Next one. Okay. This next to that, but not those next to these. Decorate your longhouse to get extra peas.
Buzz. A feast for Oak.
A feast for Odin is indeed the correct answer.
It's like, I'm pretty sure it's feast for Oak.
You see,
I just love that you made these rhymes.
aren't they adorable? They're so cute. But the thing with all these rhymes, I wasn't sure how much is too much. Like, I thought the wolf one, I thought the Too Many Bones one was so easy. I thought it was like, okay, whatever.
I played Undertow like once.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's a distinguishing character. Distinguishing character. Also, for the
well,
record,
it's
as usual,
distinguishing for you because you played with Duster and Stanza so much. But like,
Jenna, I did indeed make cute little rhymes. Did you hear my Feast for Odin one, Jenna? We're in the middle of a game. You should know it. But anyways,
Yeah, Successful said I never consider them cute, and I agree. They're not cute or small.
I recognize that, but I think a wolf, a lute, and small little folk, I'm okay with this. Anyways.
yeah, I think it was fine. The only thing I would disagree with was cute, but yeah, no, otherwise I'm fully with you.
Also keep in mind, 45 minutes, and I had to make them rhyme. Okay? 45 minutes with 15.
I love how when Meg and I make a game, there's no problem. If Alex makes a game, it's ever you suck at this.
Ready?
I don't know.
Ready? Dashing and rearranging, all after hours, staying out of trouble with asymmetric powers.
A Buzz?
Buzz.
Go ahead. She buzzed first.
Mythic Mischief?
Mythic Mischief is indeed correct! Yeah.
If you had said luring across the map, I would have gotten way faster.
Well, moving on. What's up, Meg? Are you still just whatever? Okay, moving on.
Making fun of me for using that power like it's a slingshot.
Oh, that's funny. I just got that. That's funny.
Dang it! Oh, I should have buzzed faster.
Okay, are you ready? I don't know if anyone's tracking points. Okay, 4-2. There we go.
4-2.
I'm not.
Whether 3 of a kind, a full house or a straight, card play and dice rolling, and boxes of 8.
Buzz.
Go ahead.
Dice Throne?
Dice
Yeah,
Stone
it's
is
Dice Throne.
correct.
That's really good. You're doing good with these, man. So 6-2.
So
Golly.
Devin's
you say
the
the whole-
visual.
Can you say the whole rhyme for that one again? Because I buzzed.
Yes. Whether 3 of a kind, a full house or a straight, card play and dice rolling, and boxes of 8.
It was really good because you have 8. It was really
Yeah.
good.
I was wondering if I get like pushback with Devin being like, I have the retail set or something like that. I don't know. Number 6. Moving on to number 6. Say whatever you'd like, and for however long, then say it shorter and not at all, and
Buzz.
try
Monikers.
not to be wrong.
Oedipus.
Oedipus!
Oedipus.
Sweet, scary, scary.
Sweet, scary. Ugh. It's probably not a good game for us to play since we already have too many inside jokes to create a whole
But
new story.
I have made sure my rhymes don't have any inside jokes. I debated it.
No, I'm just talking about us playing monikers as a game.
Oh, yes, sure. Number 7. Roll and collect while trying to expand, building and trading as settlers of the land.
Buzz?
Go ahead.
Castles of Burgundy?
Nope.
Buzz. Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
Roll and collect while trying to expand, building and trading as settlers of the land. Literally has the word settlers in there. I'm okay with this.
Fair.
Meg's like, I
So
think
now
that's skeptical.
Now it's 7-6. Devin's back in it.
Number 8. Each time you place, the actions get better, but having too many in prison will make you a debtor.
Buzz. Architects of the West Kingdom.
Architects of the West Kingdom. Dun dun dun. You play the one, Meg,
I'm not
right?
playing. No.
No? Oh my gosh! I tried.
No.
So, in no cases did I guarantee any that you've played these. I did try to pick ones that you are familiar with, although you probably would have to play that one
That's
to know
okay.
that one. Moving on to number 9. You'll make difficult choices, allegiances, and more, combining all your items at places you've been to before. I'll say it again. This one, for the record, I did think was tricky. You'll make difficult choices, allegiances, and more, combining all your items at places you've been to before.
That last bit's the key, I think.
Don't look at chat. Chat got it already. Do not look at chat.
Can you say it one more time?
But I'm happy chat got it because it makes me feel better about myself. You'll make difficult choices, allegiances, and more, combining all your items at places you've been to before.
Oh, buzz. Combining items. That's it. Played it with Amber.
I know you have.
Role player adventures.
Roleplay adventures!
Mm.
Meg's like, that's stupid, Alex.
Combining items.
I thought it was Dune.
No.
The allegiances was good, but the combining items is what did it for me.
Boom. Okay.
These were good, Alex.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
45 minutes, an average of 3 minutes per rhyme. Okay. I'm going to do this again. These are fun.
An average of 3 minutes per rhyme.
I'm just saying.
That is actually really impressive. Once
That's
you
what
break
I'm
it down
saying.
mathematically.
There's some of these I'm okay with the fact that the rhymes aren't perfect.
no.
And they're gonna... Number
No.
10.
No.
I'll wait
Mifa.
till Meg's ready.
Sorry. Mifa, you gotta move. Come on. She's going near the trash. Okay.
Number
Okay.
10. You only have 4. Around the center they go. What the pairs have in common is what you're trying to know. You only have 4. Around the center they go. What the pairs have in common is what you're trying to know.
Buzz?
Go ahead.
Paint the roses?
Nope.
Can you say it one more time?
What the pairs have... So you only have 4. Around the center they go. What the pairs have in common is what you're trying to know. Dun dun dun.
I just want to argue that Paint the
my kids
Roses
are
starts
in
with
here.
4 placed in the center at the beginning of the game.
Do you only have 4?
That's how it starts.
Do you-
And you only have 4 to choose from in the market board as well.
What the pairs have
Hey.
in common.
A.
I don't think it's close enough, and I will say chat got it so far. So
I give up. I don't know what it is.
So Clover. You only have 4.
Oh.
Around the center they go. What the pairs have in common is what you're trying to know.
Yeah, I'm not good. I was never gonna get that.
Number 11. Meg, you done shooting? I gotta give it a second. The buzz is on
Yeah, whatever.
I don't. She's like, I got the first 3. I'm done. Searching and protecting, trying desperately to survive. If you do better than expected, then the game title is a lie.
Say the last part.
Searching and protecting, trying desperately to survive. If you do better than expected, then the game's title is a lie.
Buzz?
Go ahead.
Dead of Winter?
Nope.
Say the whole thing again.
Searching and protecting, trying desperately to survive. If you do better than expected, then the game's title is a lie. I thought this was very clever, for the record.
Are you sure it's a game I played?
Oh, I'm confident.
Okay.
Oh, well, that you get what? That's extra
It's not
info.
helping. It's not helping.
Searching and protecting, trying desperately to survive. If you do better than expected, then the game's title is a lie.
Final Girl?
Final Girl is indeed the answer.
I only guess because I'm looking at it.
You search, you protect, and if you actually keep the girls alive, you're not the final girl.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that's like 11 to 9.
It always bothered me, for the record, that it's called Final Girl, and the goal is to not be the final girl. I always
well, no,
bothered
you're
me.
still the final girl.
Who are the rest of the survivors?
Well, I guess it depends how you play it, but I usually save everyone and then battle.
Do you just
So you're
name all
still
the
final
survivors
person.
men so that when they die...
No, I'm saying I get them all out so that they survive, and then I'm the final one to survive.
Well, I guess
You're the one in the final fight.
I hear you. You're right. We'll take back your points. Okay.
What?
You're right. You're right. You've justified yourself out of the points. Yeah.
Number 12. Number 12. Also, Pandemic works, I would say. I don't know if there's a... You have to be, like, really darn good at Pandemic for that title to be a lie. Like, really
Man,
darn good.
I thought Dead of Winter was it.
Does Dead of Winter work for it if you do better? But the Dead of Winter, how's the title a lie?
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
Because you're dead, and if you do better, you survive.
I
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah.
Number
It's okay.
12.
Final girl makes sense.
It's the
too.
Dead of Winter, like the zombies of winter, if that's how you read it.
Number 12.
No, yeah. But you could also read it as the people who are dead.
Mifa.
Like the dead who died that winter.
Rescuing the villagers, trying not to scream. Monsters moving to your space, working as a team.
Say again.
Rescuing the villagers, trying not to scream. Monsters moving to your space, working as a team.
Scream, I don't understand. Trying not to scream.
Keep in mind, I have to rhyme things, so don't take everything so literally.
Okay.
Can you say it one more time?
Rescuing the villagers, trying not to scream. Monsters moving to your space, working as a team. And board collect. Hopefully they're not looking at chat because chat has been right several times before they have. Although they haven't answered when chat has. So I'm assuming not.
Can you say it one more time? I know it's yeah.
Here's my thing is, I'm gonna argue that anything I answer, like there are right answers that aren't your answer, Alex.
I'm okay with that. That could be your week. Searching and protecting, trying desperately to survive. Sorry, wrong one. Rescuing the villagers, trying not to scream. Monsters moving to your space, working as a team.
As a team.
Oh, Buzz.
As a team.
Go ahead, Devin.
Marvel United.
No.
Oh.
They're moving to your space, rescuing villagers, which are the civilians.
They're literally called civilians. I could have said civilians.
They're literally
guess
called
so.
civilians.
I
What
guess
rhymes
so.
with civilians?
Billions? It's not the end
Civilians
of the sentence.
wasn't the rhyming, yeah.
There we go.
All right, say it again.
Rescuing the villagers, trying not to scream. Monsters moving to your space, working as a team. For the record, there were 3 answers in chat in like a second after saying this. This wasn't even a long one. Time is up. I agreed and tripped full. I'll give you guys 5 more seconds.
Oh, if chat's right, I've never played this game.
I was gonna say Arkham Horror.
Nope. The answer is Horrified,
Never played it.
which I wasn't sure if either of you had played.
Yeah. I don't even think I've ever even seen it set up on a table. But
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't know Horrified.
That's fair.
Well,
I got
neither one got
Architect,
points,
so, I'll
so
take
it's
it. Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Next one. Overlaying plastic cards while trying to create a piece of art that scores real well while also looking great.
Buzz. Canvas.
Ding, ding, ding.
Have
you played Canvas, Meg?
No.
Oh, we have to play Canvas.
Yeah.
It's so
After this.
good. After this.
The only thing I could think from the beginning of that was Gloom.
Gloom. Yes, overlaying plastic cards. Yep. But I don't know if you're trying to create a piece of art in that one. But
No,
Okay, so you've included like 4 games I've never played, just so you know.
which is really impressive that you're doing so well. Good job.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
I had a good time creating a game for us, but I kind of just love this interaction week to week. Just Alex making a game and Meg hating it the whole time. It's kind of my preferred way to go.
Ready? Wait a second. Why do I have an extra... I don't know what's going on there. Okay.
Wait, so Canvas is good though?
Canvas is
I'm
right.
interested now that I've heard how it's described.
Canvas... I like Canvas a lot. The only interesting part about Canvas... I do have Canvas. The only interesting part about Canvas is that you can either work on making a piece of art that looks good, or you can try to score points and just hope your art looks good. I do the second one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alright. Ready for the next one? It started with cartoons, then heroes, then space. It's about being the bad guy, no longer a disgrace.
But Buzz,
Go ahead.
Villainous?
Villainous is correct.
Man,
started.
you've included like 4 games I haven't played. This is just downright despicable, Alex. I am disgusted with your chicanery here. I think that's the word.
So Villainous, I wasn't sure if you guys played it, but you guys should both know this. It started with cartoons, then heroes, then space. They had regular Villainous, Disney Villainous. They had whatever Marvel Villainous, and then Space Villainous. Which, by the way, I tried doing like 4 things. No, it's not space. I couldn't get anything to rhyme with space. I was like, it started with cartoons, then comics, then movies. That was my original climb, and I couldn't find what rhymes with movies. What rhymes with movies? What?
I said boobies.
Yes, that was going to be my rhyme, Meg. That was it. That was going to be my rhyme. Lastly, the last one. Again, I don't know who's even chap. I think.
I have no idea.
But either way, the very last one.
I think it's like 13 to 11. I think it's quite close, actually.
Technically a dungeon crawler, but not the usual kind. Get out quickly, but first grab what you find.
Buzz.
Oh.
Clank, clink, clank, clink, clink,
Yeah.
clink, clink, clank.
For the record, I did make sure that the one I ended on was one you both know, because I know how you guys are.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I need to make sure that the last one is one you for sure both know.
Don't lump me in to your and Meg's histrionics, okay?
And that is the game show. Good job. I don't who actually won. I don't know what the score was at the end.
We all did.
We all
I
did.
believe it was 15 to 11, but I'm not
Nice.
100% positive.
Well, that is the game show, which means it's time for the Patreon sponsored conversation, Patreon suggested conversation, which is about game tables and what you want in a game table, what you look for in a game table. And with that, Meg, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Because I think I have a unique thing to add to the table. That you don't have, Alex, is I have a wormwood, which I absolutely love, which I'm happy to talk about. But before I had my wormwood, I actually refurbished a cafe table. So I made my own for, I want to say it was $150 for the table and benches itself, and then maybe another $100 to refurbish it. So I did mine for $250. And I absolutely love it. So just to explain a little bit more, it was a cafe table, and it was the kind that's more of like a shadow box. So it already had the frame around it, and it had a glass top, and it had a support down the middle. And all I had to do is remove the glass with some like adhesive remover and pop that out, take out the center support, and then it now goes in. And then I bought actually like butcher block things that are meant for countertops. And I got that as toppers. I got neoprene playmats to put inside and some lights. And it's actually very cool that if you go to like any restaurant that has like booth style seating, it's 2 booth style seats. And I reupholstered the back of it with like D&D-esque fabric. So there is an affordable way to do it. You do have
So
to
like
get
dragon
lucky.
scales?
It's more like it's like patterned, so it's like dice and books and
Like real dragon scales?
there's actual dragon scales that I harvested myself. Yes.
Harvested. I'm terrified by how casual a word harvested is for dragon scales. I just harvested them by myself. I was like, hey, big old Mifa, let me just take this one off and take that one off.
But yeah, I absolutely love that table. The only thing about it is that it's a 48 by 32, so it is pretty small, but that's something that I had Jaws of the Lion inside of my table the entire time until we played through it. So there are 2 ways to do game tables. You can try to make your own, refurbish your own. I know people that have made their own from scratch. Or if you are purchasing one, there's also that option too.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. No, that's awesome.
Did I send you a
that made
picture?
your
Can you
own.
show my table? I'll have to find it, but would you be able to do that?
Me?
No, I
Yeah.
prefer he didn't. I haven't
I can
played
probably
before.
do it.
All right. I'll try to find a good picture of it.
Yeah. So for me, I have a few game tables. I have a coffee game table, one in my dining room, and then this guy over here. And I've been able to experience a bunch of the different aspects of game tables and the things I care about and the things I don't care about. And the biggest thing I tend to not care about, and this is obviously very personal, so obviously everyone take this with a grain of salt as you're buying a game table or not, but I find that most accessories outside of cup holders don't get used. And that's a big thing because accessories are very, very expensive. And I'm sure you'll find groups that use them. And also keep in mind, I'm speaking from a stance of a board game player, not a DM. Because I know there's all these fancy DM type things you can do that look very cool, but I have no idea where it wouldn't be used. But I have accessories. I have the extras. I have all the stuff. I have the little component trays and holders and all these different things. And time again, the only thing I find that gets used as far as game table accessories for me personally is the cup holders. Everything else just takes up space, and people would rather have an easier time just because the problem is you have to like slot them into the table most of the time, which means you don't leave them there because they're kind of annoying. You kind of store them and bring them back, and they don't really add that much value to the actual experience. So I find that they are expensive and not helpful. And offhand, if you're buying game table, my first recommendation is skip as many accessories as you possibly can. They all look compelling, but they can literally add thousands of dollars to your table depending on what you want to get. Start off with the table, see how much you enjoy that, maybe grab a cup holder or two, and honestly see how much you even use the cup holders, because that'll be a good determination of everything else. If you're not using the cup holders, I guarantee you're not using anything else.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think I am kind of someone who instinctively is like, I want all the accessories.
Oh, I want all the accessories.
That's good info. That's good info. For me, probably the thing that I believe most board game table manufacturers give maybe the least attention to is storage. And the biggest thing for me, like one of the main values of a table, is its capacity to function as a table and as a board game playing space. And that requires that you have table toppers. I'm actually going to give a shout out to a Polish company that I just saw on Facebook recently. They're a super small company. Their name is Wooden Castle. I don't know if you can look that up, but their name is Wooden Castle. And they shared something that I thought is one of the better solutions I've seen, where they have had a under the table compartment that stows the table toppers, like stacks them in there. I don't know if they have that on their site, but they showed it in a Facebook post where they're like, hey, this is something we're trying to like innovate or work on because people like this is something that people are interested in. And I know that I think your dining table might be a game theory table. I may be wrong on that. Or I can't remember what the dining geek one is. Uniquely Geek, that's what it is. So like that one, you have the vertical stow box. And I know that Wormwood was trying to create their kind of own version of something like that as well. And I think those are fine, but it also requires an entire extra floor space to accommodate that. So the concept of having storage for your table toppers, I think, is really nice.
Which one are you referring to? Which was the company?
Wooden Castle is the one that I just saw. They're like they're a small Polish company. I think they're like trying to get up and running in terms of sharing their designs and stuff. But I can try and find the Facebook post and send it to you. If I recall correctly,
the Archie game table from Geek and Sons, if I recall correctly, also had a under thing kind of where you can store it underneath the table. But yeah, I was very curious because I like the idea of saving the space. I would honestly
take away some of the leg room to gain.
That's my worry. That's my fear.
That. Yeah.
Speaking of legroom, Ryan Gilmore says, how do you three feel about vault depth? I see these tables with a deep vault and it looks very inconvenient when you're playing. So that's a tricky one that ultimately comes down to the nature of just physical space has a limitation. In general, with a table, you're operating with a few different things you're trying to deal with. One is leg room, how much room you actually have for your legs. 2 is the vault depth, and 3 is not making the table too high to where it's an inconvenient height or feels unnatural. And you'd be surprised how quickly we as human beings get used to a certain table height to the point that anything, like if you go more than like an inch away from regular table height, it starts to feel a little weird. And so you really do want to try to keep that to the ideal table height. The problem there is then you're operating with the other 2 constraints, which is how much vault depth do you have and how much leg room. On a personal note, I like being able to cross my legs. I'm a big leg crosser, and I find that some game tables have so much vault depth that you can't comfortably cross your legs. And I think it depends on the kind of games you're playing with, because the other balance is that generally I would say around 3 inches of vault depth is usually what you need to be able to comfortably accommodate most standard miniatures. Not all, you'll always have ones that are larger, but if you're playing Zombicide and you want to move away an Abomination or whatnot, usually that should be enough to play with. And so I find that having... ideally, I want around 3 inches of vault height if I can get it, but I also...
The Wormwood Prophecy was because of the adjustable, like that winch, the ability to change the vault depth for play versus storage. Like, I don't mind if it sits really low if I'm storing the game. So the picture that Alex is showing right now, that's from Wooden Castle, and that's their solution to put the table toppers underneath the table, which I really like. So for like the prophecy table from Wormwood, you can, I don't care if I'm playing at table level all the way up to the top if I'm playing it. I just want to be able to store it when I'm not playing it. So the ability to adjust the vault level easily is why like the prophecy was always such an interesting thing. Intrepid, I think it would impact legroom, but I think that the interesting thing for me is when I've been playing at a lot of tables that are board game tables, I actually don't use legroom in the same way that I use it when I'm sitting at a table normally. Because I'm so frequently, like when you have a board game table, because the vault is so frequently inset, and I don't know of many others besides the prophecy that can raise it to flush level, but so because of that, you reach down into the table a lot when you're playing, which means I naturally have my legs further back. I'm not as like nested under the table, because if you're fully nested under the table, it's a little bit more awkward. Like if I'm playing at a board game table, I'm usually actually like lifting out of my seat a little bit to play, and so I'm not normally actually as into the table as I am if I'm using it for like dining or something like that. So it is an interesting difference that I do think that vault depth and storage under the table does affect legroom, but it also depends. If you're using it for a combination of dining, that might bug you, but if you're using it for playing, I don't know, like, do you guys sit differently at the tables? Like, I just noticed that at Alex's table and stuff, I sit a little bit further back upstairs. I don't go fully under.
I think I cross my legs less. It depends on where I am at the table, but past that, pretty similar. But I will say, Meg, before you dive into a picture on stream, I will say a very classic me moment is I looked at the picture and I was like, ooh, what are those player boards? What are those tokens? Ooh, that's ruling witchcraft. And then I looked up and I saw the box on the table.
It's right there. Yeah.
But I figured it out first.
So Devin, if you see YouTube right now, the backgrounds on that bench, I upholstered that to myself.
And that's just straight up dragon scales?
It's straight up dragon scales. And then I drew patterns all over it.
Self-harvested. It looks like you killed a baby dragon to get scales of that size. Which apparently is worse for Meg than humans. Stuff.
Behind the Ouija board pillow is a Catan pillow. Even though I don't play Catan.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, we know. Devin got the sideless clue.
Hey, my main son.
If you gave me a sec, I was going to be like, Burgundy, Castles of Burgundy.
I sit the same no matter what, but I think again that's like a small person thing, is like I tend to sit in most chairs regardless of where I am, cross-legged, like Indian, like folded style. So even it doesn't really change when I'm at a game table. But I like how this one, where it's a bench, I can put my legs up, that I'll even like end up sitting like this sometimes. I think that benches like this were very, very cozy compared to chairs.
Yeah. It is very cool.
I love benches.
The upholstering did not take long at all. Upholstering was actually super fun. I had this little tool that pops it out, and then you just kind of wrap it in fabric and staple it on. Upholstering was very fun and pretty quick. The hardest part was sanding it and then staining it, because you have to wait for the stain to dry. That's what probably took the longest, was cleaning out all the gunk from the table and all that.
Yeah, in general, if you are able to construct your own game table to a degree, whatever you are able to do, obviously you'll save a lot of money. There's always a bunch of balances as far as what you're trying to get out of a game table. It's not like this is very cool and cozy, and you didn't build a table, right? You repurposed a table, right?
What?
You didn't build the table, you repurposed it.
Yeah, so I could find old pictures, but this one, it had a support down the middle that was wooden and a glass top. So it was meant to be like a shadow box. And it actually lifts from the frame of it up. So that's how I can put playmats in and have them be underneath like the framing of it. But yeah, this was like a cafe table that I changed a bit. I got the toppers for it, reupholstered it, stained it, added lights to it, added a neoprene mat. Maybe $250 total.
Danger.
I have another one in my basement because it was actually a set. So if I ever want to, I can do bench. I have one bench that's like 2 seats like that because it was a restaurant. So I can do 2 in a row, but I don't have enough room for that in my house.
Yep. And for me, for table coverings, which is something we haven't gotten into yet, is because I've played with a variety of tables and seen them. I've both seen, looked into, researched, and also have had different tables. For me, the covering I prefer the most is actually the covering that I have both on my Uniquely Geek table as well as on my newest table, actually, which I'll be doing a video on at some point. But over here, I have that table over there now, which is that is the Dragons and Geeks Monarch table that was just recently on crowdfunding.
Dope.
Yeah, and I really like how for my Uniquely Geek and for that one, the way it works is the leaves are inset to the table. And that works nicely because it means the table height never varies. Like the Game Theory table, for example, the Game Theory table is one that I've played at conventions, and I've seen as well in terms of Jesse Quacklup has a Game Theory table, and when you have the top in that, the height does feel off. I think it's totally fine when you don't have the top on. When you have the top on, the height feels off, and I really like. And I've seen as well, like I think Meg, yours is an overleaf, and this one as well is an overlaying ones. And I found that gives you that difference in height that I mentioned could be offsetting to a degree. And like I really like how the Uniquely Geek and the Monarch game table have inlaid leaves into it, kind of like the way this is.
Flush leaves is pretty dope. Yeah,
kind of like the way this is kind of inlaid, but this is not this is not the topper. This is a surface area, but the actual topper fully lies on, and it's very flush. Also, Mom
Meryl,
Gamer,
the couch has been gone for a long time.
Yeah, Mom Gamer, the couch has been gone for a long time because it took up so much space in the basement and wasn't really used past me sitting on it for videos. So
I
miss
slept
it
on it the very first time I stayed at your house.
I missed it. In fact, if it makes you feel better, I lent it out to a friend, to my brother-in-law, sister-in-law technically, and maintained ownership because I was like, one day if I move, I want that couch back because how comfy it was. But there's no space for it, unfortunately.
Smart if you guys stop being friends.
Exactly. Yep. But anyways, so yeah, as far as covering, there's a lot of table options out there. My personal preferred preference is inlaid leaves, so that's a very smooth surface. And again, the Uniquely Geek and the Monarch game table are the ones that I know offhand that do that.
That's cool. Yeah.
I have in the Wormwood, I think it's like felt or something like that. It's whatever came with it that I don't really love. So I love using neoprene mats. That's what I do almost all of the time. But whatever that is that's on top of your table behind you, Alex, I really, really love those too. Yeah. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what it's called.
I think it's like micro. I think it's micro suede.
Oh, you think that
is?
Yeah, very possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer that over the neoprene, but I prefer the neoprene over the felt.
Yeah, my newest table actually, it's something interesting about the surface that Meg, you've experienced already. The cars kind of stick to that, even though it seems like it's micro suede. So I'm very.
I think it needs to be broken in a little.
Possibly, we'll find out. But
we gotta play more games on it.
Meg's like, yeah, we gotta play a lot more games just for the sake of the table.
Well, the first day it showed up, Meg, Kiva, and I played Planet Unknown on it. Yep. But yeah. Anyways, that's as far. Speaking of, I guess of materials. What are your preferred materials for playing games on, if anything? Because there's a lot of options there.
What do you mean?
In terms of like micro suede, fiber, all those things.
I prefer silk. Just like
pure gold, polished gold.
Purple silk, polished gold, burnished bronze for the chairs. I don't like them ever to be moved by my children, and if they're heavy enough, they just won't be able to deal with that.
Burnished bronze would help with that, and if you set them far enough away from the table, you should be fine.
Ari said dragon scales.
Dragon scales. So for me, there's a bunch of table options as far as what you can do as far as these things. There's a speed cloth. Speed cloth is very much what they have for poker tables, and because I have a bunch of flippable surfaces, I've tried different things. And like yourself, Meg, I generally prefer the micro suede or fiber, whatever this is, the most so far. Speed cloth, which is very much for poker tables and has more of a slightly gritty feel, but you can slide cards on nicely. The problem with that is it works great for cards, but it doesn't work great for picking up components because it doesn't have that slight plushiness. In general, having a drop of plushiness is almost always a little better than anything hard. Like even just like many tables will come with just no surface at all. It's just whatever the inner surface is. But having a mat of some sort, neoprene, anything else, all those stuff, gives you a drop of push that you can pick something up because it indents a bit into the surface as opposed to being a hard, flat surface. And I generally like those a lot.
I really like your the top of that bandpass design table. It's really nice. I like the card stuff. I don't really need the shallow component thing. That's the shallow component like cut in is somewhat unnecessary to me. But the physical cup holders are nice.
I like the card rails a lot. These little rails.
Yeah, yes,
I use those.
That's what those are. Yeah, the card rails are nice. The only thing that I don't like, just personally, about that material that's on the top there is the like smudging, one directional. It just like I feel like when you and I play a game or do a video, we're like just constantly.
It's only because of a video,
like
though.
Nonstop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be. I would do it even if we weren't filming. Like it just bothers me that it like I can't see it.
Yeah, but. Yeah, you can see
that bugs me. That bugs me. Yep.
Basically,
when we were playing Planet Unknown, I was carving messages into the new table, with the fabric, not carving.
I understood.
She's got the shiv, and she's just like dragging.
Yeah, that to me doesn't bother me on a personal level. It does bother me from a sense of film media. So for me, it's a content creator problem, but for Devin, it's a general. Yeah, but anything else?
I have issues. So
I have issues.
I got issues.
Anything else I'm missing? What are the things as far as materials?
What about
things?
like chairs? What about chairs?
I need chairs, so any advice you have here would be great.
I like benches.
You need chairs for the Monarch one?
I want better in general down here. Even when I have guests, I feel like I have these. I need folding chairs because they need to be able to go. They need to be able to move. Actually, I don't know if I need folding chairs anymore. Now they have the Monarch there.
Do you have an at home near you?
I don't even know what that is.
The store.
Okay,
There's one near me, Alex. If you're driving up here.
Because potentially, if you guys don't hate them, the like cloth. I mean, ours have been heavily abused by kids, but the dining ones that I have that are like just in the kitchen table that are like cloth and they're kind of scalloped and they have a nice back to them. Those are $99 a piece at home. They're not the best made things, but if they're in a easier setting that doesn't have the daily abuse of kids and stuff like that, I think they would be totally fine, and they're on the cheaper end. I really like the ones we have in the dining room, but they're much bulkier, and those are like Havertys, and they're expensive. But they're pricey. I wouldn't recommend those just for the casual sitting experience. But yeah. I don't know. I don't mind the ones you have.
I don't
but
love.
I prefer a little bit more of a scalloped seat. The folding chairs you have and a lot more standard ones kind of have like a reverse raise, and I like my butt being cushioned. I like it when my tuchus rests nicely in a divot. I like a butt divot. I like a butt divot just to hold me long term.
So, anyways, yeah, I'll look into chairs, Devin.
In the butt divot.
That's gonna be a Devin trivia question next week.
The butt divot.
What shape does his tuchus like?
Oh, the next time there's a category for Devin.
Scallops.
But yeah, no, chairs. I have the $20 folding chairs. I want to look into other chair options. To me, it's an issue of more of storage where they're going down here. Although again, having the table does mean that they can just store tucked in to a degree, but they still have to be movable over here for when I want to have multiple people.
And if you are looking for another cheap alternative for that, Alex, you could also go on Facebook Marketplace, and people are usually getting rid of even a table and chairs and be like, I just want the chairs or something like that. That you could get like a set maybe that are actual dining chairs but cheaper.
Yeah, it's probably worth doing.
Yeah.
But with that, unless you have anything else, do we have anything else to cover with table stuff?
No.
I like dragon scales.
Dragon scales.
What games are in your tables?
Right now, actively?
Yeah.
I have nothing under here, I think, he says as he picks it up. To nothing under here, although I just did knock that over. I have Evolution, a new Evolution, at my table over there. And then I have upstairs
like
Massive
X-Men?
Darkness set up for like 6 months and I need to play it.
Oh my gosh, that game has been up there forever.
I've not cleaned it up. I need to just either clean it up or play it, and it's been
clean it up.
Yeah,
Do something else.
I need to play it. It happens. Sometimes I find when I put a game on a table, either it's because I'm about to play it and I'm going through it, and then sometimes they get lost into the ravages of time and they sit there for like 6 months. It's not the first time it's happened.
Yeah.
It's like the second or third it's happened in like the years I've had the table.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
with that,
no, you definitely definitely need to take that game because it's a campaign game that you're not playing with Meg.
it's
which
episodic. It's episodic.
So what are you doing?
It's episodic.
What are you doing with?
So I
What are you
started it
doing?
with Akiva. I started with Akiva to play with Akiva because I like sharing the campaign game love with all my friends, and so I wanted to go through with Akiva.
Oh.
We're gonna go ahead and call it for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying tuned, for watching. We'll possibly be back next Wednesday. If we are, it'll either be without me or it'll be earlier in the day. One of those two options.
Alex. Yeah,
Yes.
I think that or Tuesday. I don't think Wednesday works.
That or Tuesday. Those are also possibilities. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There may be a video next
Tuesday
week.
works for me too.
So the weekly live might be Tuesday next week. We shall figure it out. In any case,
We'll pre-schedule it, guys. We promise.
definitely, like at least an hour before. In any case,
Totally
until
of
next
your
time,
own volition.
have a good one.
Bye.